stream ended. I don't know why. I think I'm back up and running. Let me check. My laptop going. I got it scheduled set to start at 7 o'clock p.m., which just about is. Hey, Chu, how you doing? Gonna be cooking dinner. Let me make sure. Yeah, it looks like everything's running. Had my live stream start and then end. I scheduled it for 7 o'clock. Hey, Emerald, how you doing? Good evening. I'm gonna do a little vegetable fruit salad. I'm gonna make for me and Mrs. T-Bird tonight. I've got all the materials right there, and we're gonna make one of my own personal recipes, meatloaf. Uh, you'll see the way I make it. I've got a unique way of how I do it. I'm surprised this live stream started because I scheduled it to go for 7 o'clock, and then as soon as I hit it, it started, and then it ended, and then I had to hit retry, and it went again. It's not quite 7, but thank you very much for stopping in here. I'm just gonna make sure I got things all situated here. Got my laptop going so I can see the chat. I'd like to make that chat. I should pop that chat out. I can see it more, but I think it's pretty good. So how's everybody doing this fine Sunday? Hope everybody's doing well. Deneen, how's it going, sister? Roadrunner Emerald. Is he following you around or you following him around? How you feeling, Deneen? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm gonna do a little cooking here, I guess, making dinner for me and Mrs. T-Bird. And Mrs. T-Bird made a suggestion, why don't I do a video or go live with it? And I said, all right, I guess. So she did all the preparations for me over here and cut everything up. I have a vegetable fruit salad that I'm going to be putting together over here, and I also have my homemade meatloaf I want to do and put together, share with you guys. After I get that all done, I'll probably use the burner, and I'm going to saute up some onions and mushrooms to mix in with some brown gravy that I have right here. Hey, Happy Tiger, how you doing? Thanks for stopping in. Stack Attack Wager, woo! How you doing, brother? Thank you for stopping in. Alrighty, I think you guys can see that all right. There we go. Yeah, I'll probably get started on this because Mrs. T-Bird's getting hungry, and so ain't I. I'm not gonna lie. Trying to think, I should start off. I've already got the oven preheated at 350 degrees for my meatloaf. Let me get that started first. What I usually like to do is I like to take a bowl. I've got some onions here already pre-chopped up. I got 3 eggs. I'm going to set over here because I like to put some eggs in there. Let me set these over off to the side and up behind me. I usually use like 93 to 97% lean hamburger. I like to use lean hamburger. I got about 1.5 pounds here. It was left over from our Michigan sauce from the other day. We bought a huge package of it. And I'm just going to dump that right in there, just like that. Get all that hamburger in there. Start off with a hamburger. Set that off to the side. And let's see. You guys can see that. I have roughly about a cup of onions, roughly already pre-chopped up. Just gonna go ahead and throw those in there like that. 3 eggs. I like to use eggs in it. It helps bind it. Everything but that one little piece of shell that just flopped in there. And I got it. Open that up. Take a peek at the chat. JCT, how you doing? Thanks for stopping in. Like I said, we're starting off with about 1.5 pounds of hamburger, about a cup to a cup and a half of chopped up onions, 3 eggs. Let's see. The other ingredient I like to use, I got a paper towel right here with my hands. I like to put in, I like to use Campbell's Chunky Old Fashioned Vegetable Beef Soup. I put a whole can of that in. This is, let me see, how many ounces? This is, let's see. This is 18.8 ounces. I don't know if you can see that. but it's a rather large can for about that size and that amount of meatloaf. I usually drain the juices out. I don't need all those juices. Let me drain that out real quick over here over the sink. It wasn't too bad of a day today. I got a little bit of chores done outside. I got some mowing done. Probably mowed about 1.5 acres of 3 acres that I mow. There goes the can of vegetable beef soup. Gonna put that all in there right there like that. Of course, I recycle a can, so I'll set that aside. And one of the other ingredients that I do use a little bit of coarse black pepper, approximately probably about a teaspoon, a little less, a little more, a little less, depending on your preference of how much you like black pepper. Let's see, got roughly about a teaspoon here. Just gonna sprinkle that in there like that. And I also like to use the Kirschner. I ran out of my coarse Kirschner sea salt, but I like the sea salt. I'm going to use the fine sea salt. I probably use roughly, I'm just going to guess at this, about probably a half tablespoon probably of that salt. Oh, let's see, what else am I missing? I usually use a lot of ketchup. Ketchup is a key ingredient when it comes to the meatloaf, so it doesn't come out like a big chunk of hamburger. The vegetable beef soup helps with that. And also, sometimes we do put a can of cream of mushroom soup in there as well. A small can of cream of mushroom. I'm not going to do that today because that's Mrs. T-Bird's type of meatloaf that she makes. But I like to use mine where I use ketchup. And the ketchup really, the eggs and everything, it does something where it makes the meatloaf not like a hunk of hamburger, to where when you're done, it's juicy and it just falls right apart. That's roughly going to be, if I had to guess, I don't always use measurements too much, but I would say I have to say about a cup to a cup and a half right inside with the hamburger and all the ingredients that I just put in there. And at the final thing, I actually use more ketchup along the top. But I think I have all my ingredients that I want in there, and all I'm going to do is just mix this up really nice. I got this large bowl, and I'm going to transfer it into a dish. Let me try to peek at the chat while I'm mixing this up. Hey, Raka in here. I didn't see your comment, but I see Deneen saying Raka. I'd probably have to scroll back. Let me see. Stack that gold. Hey, how's it going? How'd you make out the other day after our raid? We all went in and raided Stack That Golds. Me, Liberty Bleeds, Vegas Stacker. We raided their Stack That Golds channel, and we hopped over to Mr. and Mrs. West Texas Stacker, and we raided their channel. And that was kind of fun. Yeah, a lot of times, like I said, you want to make this all nice and moist, and you want to mix it up really good. And it looks like I don't quite have enough ketchup in here. I can tell just by mixing it up. Probably I'm going to add a little bit more ketchup on it. Let's see, I got another bigger jar in here, so I'm going to fight that small little jar. Use a little bit more there. All right, where'd my coffee go? Woo! Bird's the word, Denny. Still got my coffee going. Never saw ketchup being used. No? Well, that's kind of surprising. I learned to cook from my mom, and she learned to cook from her mom. And my mom used to use a little bit of ketchup, but she only used to use the ketchup on top of the meatloaf after it was all said and done. A layer over the top. And I found by mixing in there, it gives your meatloaf a really, really good flavor as it's cooking in the oven afterwards. And it also, it seems like it tenderizes the meat to where I've had meatloaf from other people I know before, and it's like a tough piece of hamburger that's not I mean, not tough, but it's solid. It's when you cook this and you do it this way, it's going to come out of the oven and you're going to scoop into it and it's literally going to fall right apart and it's going to melt. It literally is going to fall right apart like you have cooked a roast in the oven for 3, 4, 5 hours. And like I said, I use the if you had been watching, I used a can of old fashioned vegetable old fashioned vegetable soup from Campbell's. I always use that. Sometimes I get a few different types, but it's always about the same thing. That's pretty well mixed already. I put in my about a cup and a half of sliced diced up onions. I use about a teaspoon roughly of pepper, coarse pepper. I like the coarse pepper. I don't like the fine pepper. And I probably use around anywhere from a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of salt. And this is about 1.5 pounds of hamburger. I also put in 3 eggs. I use anywhere from roughly approximately about a cup and a half to maybe 2 cups of ketchup inside the hamburger mix. Like I said, I really mix this up in really good shape. And occasionally, Mrs. T-Bird's got a little bit different recipe than I do. She uses a can of mushroom cream soup in here. I think I got some. Miss T-Bird, come over here. Let me see if I got a can right here. I'm not going to put it in, but there we go. Well, this is a different one. This is with garlic, but this would work as well. She doesn't use the one with garlic, but it's cream of mushroom soup by Campbell's. This one has roasted garlic in it. Myself, I would probably use that, but I'm not going to in this particular one today. Let me set this off to the side real quick and get my other dish, and I'll put the. Let's see, where did I put my dish? Did I leave it in here? Yes, I left it in here. I got to move the tripod real quick so I can get my big dish, big glass Pyrex dish. Okay, let me set you guys back up here again. And then all you do, you just take everything out of the bowl. I like mixing it up in a bowl, makes it easier than inside the dish, and it doesn't make as much of a mess. Set that in the sink. Hey, Gatioso. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for stopping in. Making a little bit of homemade meatloaf. Hello, Miss T-Bird. She's checking up on me. She's standing right over my shoulders, making sure I'm doing everything right. But what I usually like to do is I'll take the mix of meatloaf and I sort of spread it out in the pan so it's rather even. Is that all you do? You don't use the you don't use when you make your cream of mushroom?
I don't. I just use a can of cream mushroom soup. I put onions and mushrooms in it.
Onions and mushrooms, but you don't use the
Vegetable
vegetable
beef.
beef soup.
No,
Like
I
do.
don't.
No. All right.
No.
You give me a large tablespoon out of the drawer over there, please, so I can put my ketchup on here. Now another thing I do, which I don't have, which I do after. Here, just put that in that thing and rinse that for me. And go. Like I said, you can be very generous with the ketchup in your meatloaf. There is no set amount. I would definitely, with about 1.5 pounds, a pound and a half of the hamburger, I would definitely use at least 1.5 cups to 2 cups. You can be a little more generous if you want. But once you get that all laid out inside the pan like that, your Pyrex dish, peeking at the chat, you can be very generous with this. All you got to do, you want to layer like about 1/4 inch of ketchup over the top of this. And all I do is I've got the big jar of ketchup. I just turn around and I spread it in there like that. Put it on. There you go. Take that, Miss T-Bird. Hey, I got to help her. Woo! Nice. And I just take my tablespoon and I just even this all out. And that actually Oh my, thank you, Mrs. T-Bird. I ain't drinking my coffee anymore. Mrs. T-Bird poured me a glass of wine, some red wine. Mm. Oh, that is so good. Yeah. I'm not a big drinker, by the way. I do like, me and Miss T-Bird do have a little bit of wine here and there, but nothing to get drunk on or like that. Usually for dinner time or just before dinner. And usually only maybe once or twice a week, if that. Wine is supposedly, I guess, good for you. I don't drink alcohol too much. Just a little swig of Disaronno that I keep in the refrigerator every once in a while. There you go, Miss T-Bird. You take that. And then the other thing I do now, this is all pretty much already done. One other thing that I do occasionally is I'll buy a nice green pepper and I'll cut the top off and I'll take all the seeds out, wash it, and I'll cut slices so the rings of the green pepper and I'll lay those right on top. It actually makes it look very pretty, very nice, and it gives a good flavor to it as well. I'm just going to top this off with a little bit with parsley. I don't really always use the parsley, but let's put a little parsley on top here and give this a little color. There we go. What do you think of that, Deneen? Let me see. I'll zoom in on it a little bit here. There it is. Like I said, don't be afraid. Like I said, the ketchup, unless you're not a ketchup person, and you don't even have to be a ketchup person. This helps hold all the flavor and everything in there, and it actually tenderizes the meat. Like I said, I use about a cup and a half to 2 cups instead of a pound and a half, and then I layer it over the top like that. I don't usually use the parsley flakes, but I did it just for this show. Uh, yeah, you got to put it in. Like I said, I got the oven already preheated. It's already been preheated for 350 degrees. I'm gonna leave it on there like that. Oh, there's the brown gravy. I'm gonna leave it on 350 degrees, and we're gonna cook that probably for about an hour and a half, up to 2 hours. After about an hour, check on it. I don't know. Let me see. Where's my pot holder? I'm gonna pull this out because this has already been preheated. Pull you guys out a little bit so you can see. Let me turn this down a little bit. What I have here is a huge tin, and I'm just going to take this and set this down on top of the tin. I always, whenever I cook in the oven, I always put a tin down for if you get any type of run over. I shouldn't with this, but I always in practice of doing that. I'm going to set that right in there. That's all set, ready to go, ready to rock and roll. All we got to do is wait about an hour and a half now, and after about an hour, I'll check on it real quick, look at the top of it, and maybe another half hour after that, it'll be all ready to put on the table for supper. Now, this is something that Mrs. T-Bird usually does. She does the vegetable fruit salad, and this is sort of like her thing, her idea that she usually does. How you doing, Show Me? Thanks for stopping in. Soccer Man Rabbit Hole, appreciate you stopping in, brother. I was trying to take a video a little while ago, and I thought of you, brother. I was out in my backyard, and we had some apples. That refrigerator that was in there for quite a little while. The apples are still pretty good, but I got a lot of wildlife around my area: rabbits, deer, turkeys, squirrels, chipmunks. And I brought them out back, cut them up, and I was going to throw them out back for the deer and the rabbits that are back there. And I come across these 2 rabbits, and they were either fighting or mating. I don't know which. Mrs. T-Bird said they were mating, but they were jumping up all in the air and all like they were pawing together at each other. And I tried to get on video, but they heard me and they took off. But there's the meatloaf, and what I have here is a bowl. Mrs. T-Bird, like I said, she was so kind and nice to do everything all up for me. But we have some mini cucumbers, and we're going to start off with some mini cucumbers. And you can put as many as you want in there. It's all up to you how much you want to use. We use some mini cucumbers. We get a broccoli crown, and she likes to have broccoli in there. So this is all some broccoli crowns, all done up. Oh, did you re-rinse that thing so I can mix this? Yes, you did. Thank you, baby. Set that over there. We like to have some mushrooms. These are just portobello mushrooms she's got all cut up for me. Put those in there. Get those all in there.
I don't think those are portobello.
Yeah, I think they are portobello mushrooms.
I think they're the white ones.
The white mushrooms. But then also we use, and like I said in my other videos, I love onions, but I don't like the ones that are extremely strong, the yellow onions. We both me and Mrs. T-Bird love the sweet medallion onions, and that's what this is, and I use those a lot. The sweet medallion onions they're very good, very tasty, got a good flavor to them, and we love our onions. And then also you can either I saw when I went grocery shopping, I saw some Vermont extra sharp or some Vermont sharp cheese and some New York extra sharp cheese, cheddar cheese, and I got the New York extra sharp because I love sharp cheese. I'm gonna just take a bar of it and just chop them up into chunks. Put that in there. Oh, there's my Molly Bear. Molly Bear heard somebody. Use the. I'm gonna take a bite of that. Sharp cheddar cheese. Mm-mm. That's so good. And then Mrs. T-Bird loves her black olives. So another ingredient we're gonna use for that is some black olives, and they're already all pre-cut up. I'm just gonna throw those in there.
Oh, I think your bowl's not big enough.
No, I don't think my bowl's big enough, Mrs. T-Bird. No, I'm gonna have trouble stirring that up. Maybe she'll. Yeah, if you give me that blue bowl, finish washing that. But then also we have some tomatoes. We got some what type of off the vine tomatoes? I think they're called. I forget, but they're really tasty tomatoes. Then we're all chopped up, and also that's a lot of the vegetables and whatnot. And we also like to have black caps, blueberries, strawberries, and raspberries. And there's the fruit part of it, and that really adds to that big time. But here's the bowl of blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, black caps, and we just got to put those right in there as well. Mrs. T-Bird get me that bigger bowl because I think she made a bigger amount than I. Oh yeah. Yummy.
Here.
There we go. Bigger bowl. She got that all washed up for me, so I reuse that same bowl that I made the meatloaf in. So then, let me switch this out. I'll actually be able to mix this up as I go. I'll dump the tomatoes right on top. I got a bigger bowl so I can mix it around. That's gonna be our vegetable fruit salad. But we're not done with it. Not done with it yet. There you go, Miss T-Bird. Thank you. Mix this up a little bit. It's all mixed up. And this is going to be very awesome, especially with the type of dressing that we use with it. Like I said, you just want to be able to fluff it around, get things all mixed up. It's almost sort of like an anti-pasta salad in a way, but it's not. It's a vegetable fruit salad. It's very good. It's awesome. Well, when you get that all done,
no, you don't pour that.
What?
That's separately.
What do you mean
You
that's
can
separate?
scoop it in that bowl.
Scoop it in the bowl.
You'll make everything soggy.
It'll make everything soggy.
If we don't eat it right off.
If you don't eat it right off, apparently. I don't know what's in there that's going to be soggy, but we'll do what Mrs. T-Bird said. You dish it up. You dish some up. I need a bigger spoon than that, but I'm just going to keep continuing with this. But what you would use your own type of dressing that you would like, and all whatever type of dressing you prefer. Here, Miss T-Bird, you can go ahead and put a cover on that and get that all set. But the one that I really enjoy and I really like is a vinaigrette. It's a raspberry vinaigrette. And we actually picked this up at Aldi's, and it's a pretty good price. It's not bad. It's specially selected at Aldi's, and I think Aldi's is national. I think it's not just around here, it's everywhere. But this is an awesome vinaigrette
for salads. Look at, she's just pouring it on there. But just shake it up and try the raspberry vinaigrette out. You'll really enjoy it. You'll really, really enjoy that vinaigrette. But you just want to drizzle that over there, and you can be as generous as you want. And there you go. Voila. That's gonna be your vegetable.
Makes a nice summer
Yeah.
salad.
This is a nice summer salad. That's gonna be an awesome vegetable fruit salad. And if you could only taste that, give it a try. I can't wait.
Oh, that is so good, especially with black caps.
All right.
Now,
Now I get to turn the oven on.
You want to put that over there?
Yeah, I'll set that right over there. I'll set that right over there. I'm going to turn the front burner on. I got a non-stick pan. Non-stick pan right here. You turn that on, let that warm up. I've already got some regular brown gravy that I had. Just some standard, ordinary, standard, regular brown gravy. And I have some mushrooms and some of those sweet Medallia onions. Mushrooms and sweet Medallia onions already done. I'm going to saute those up, and then we're going to put the gravy inside of there. After we saute it up, that's going to be our gravy for our scalloped potatoes, which we already have that are just going to slide into the oven. And that's going to be our gravy for over the scalloped potatoes. Let's see. What am I looking for? Okay. Shouldn't take that long for that to heat up. And I'm going to use some extra virgin olive oil. Just going to put that in there, and that's to help saute those onions up. But that ain't the only thing I'm going to use. I'll actually, once I get this sauteed up a little bit, I'm actually going to use some of this Kerrygold pure Irish butter. I'm going to probably put about two teaspoons of this butter inside there as this is sauteing up, and that'll give it some awesome flavor on the onions and the mushrooms. Let's see, I turn that burner up a little higher. Give me one of those. No, I don't want to use that. I want to use. No, it's in here. It's in here. I got to get back into the dishwasher here. I want to use this. Yep, that's what I want. My plastic spatula, so I don't scratch up that enamel that's on that. Okay, it's gonna dump all that in there. I'll get those sauteed up, and then once those are all sauteed up, once that starts heating up a little bit, get that going. I'll put in some of that Irish butter. Take a look at the chat. I know I haven't been watching too much, but I'm trying to keep an eye on it. All this food is new to you. Yeah. It's not to me. It's something that me and Miss Steebird usually always do. We always cook. We're always cooking all throughout the week. We went to Aldi's yesterday. If y'all go to Aldi's, it's very difficult to find because they don't ever have it. Hold on. Let me get the freezer here. Me and Miss Teeber do a lot of our own cooking, but sometimes we don't always have the time to really sit down and cook, so we cook something that's really quick. We usually make our own shepherd's pie, but if you ever go to Aldi's and you ever see this shepherd's pie, it's usually around, I don't know, $9 or $10. I think the prices are starting to go up, but I don't usually like to buy stuff like this that's frozen and pre-made. It just doesn't taste the same as homemade. It doesn't. But this at Aldi's, made by Bremer shepherd's pie, is one of the best shepherd's pie that I have ever had before. That's frozen. That tastes awesome. Yeah, besides Mrs. T-Bird, so hers is even better than that. But if you ever see this in Aldi's and you're shopping at Aldi's, grab it, pick it up, give it a try. And if you like it, let me know. I think you will, because I know I do. I'm going to put that back in the freezer. I just wanted to share that with you guys. Seeing that we were talking about Aldi's, and it sounds like my mushrooms and green peppers are starting to.
Mushrooms and green
Oh, mushrooms and my onions are starting to sizzle here. I need to get some of my Kerrygold pure Irish butter. Like I said, you can get nice and generous. That's probably more than a teaspoon, but there's probably about a teaspoon and a half. Use another one. Get that out of here. Come on, fight me. Put that there for right now. Get that all mixed up. Get these sauteed up. I love all these. Problem is, there's too many people on my way there. Yeah, I guess they, like I said, they got chains all nationwide. Yeah, we get selective stuff from Aldi's. They've got a pretty good selection. I don't get all my spices there, but they're always pretty good with their the prices on their spices are pretty fairly cheap. A lot of times I usually get a lot of my chocolates there. Sometimes
Vegetables.
Vegetables.
Nice and fresh.
yeah, their vegetables are very fresh. But I think it's usually
And fruit.
on Tuesdays. I think is when their deliveries comes. They have some pretty decent delivery dates. I think on Tuesday. There's certain days of the week. I was watching a video on it, and it holds to be true even in my area. What you pointing at? Yes, baby. Hey, Rise Bubble, what's going on? Assuming on account on the maple leaf. Count the maple leaf on the box. The maple leaf on the box. Rise Bubble, are you talking about the maple leaf here somewhere on the box? Are you talking to somebody else in the chat? Olive oil has a low burning point. Yes, it does. I never use it in a frying pan. Yeah, it just to get a little bit. I usually leave it. I don't heat it up too much, but like I said, I also add a little bit of butter in with it before it really starts burning up. I like to use olive oil. There's different types of olive oil you can use for baking and for frying, and they have different viscosity levels. Canadian, eh? Beauty day, eh? Oh, I'm not Canadian. I just live up by the Canadian border, eh? Beauty day, eh, hoser? But this is already pretty much sauteed up pretty decent. And like I said, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this brown gravy that I already pre-done up, and I'm just going to put it in here. I actually need something different than this spatula, which I don't have the right utensils. But, I can go grab them real quick here. This is what I actually wanted to get all that brown gravy out of here. And this is just to season up and dress up the brown gravy, give it a little flavor. And all I'm going to do is dump that right back into that bowl afterwards. That's going to be our gravy. For our scalloped potatoes. Sorry, we're not going to do a thing on the scalloped potatoes today. They're already done up. Already set to go. We just have to warm those ones up. Didn't want to get too involved in a whole mess of things, which I already have. There we go. And set that over in the sink. Get that mixed up. Turn that down a little bit. I'm out on medium. Number 5 heat. Like I said, this is gravy that I've already made. I already had together, just regular brown gravy. I just wanted to season up a little bit of saute up some onions and mushrooms, just enough to give it a little bit of flavor. And depending on your preference, whether you want to add a little bit of salt to that or not, you can or not. It all depends on your preferences. Oh yeah. But let me tell you that if you haven't tried it, you got to find it. Kerrygold's pure Irish butter. That really does a lot of justification. It gives it some really awesome flavor. It's awesome butter. There we go. Turn that down. She's starting to almost come to a boil. she's pretty much done. I'm just gonna set that off to the side after. I don't need to bring it to a boil because I've already had the gravy. It's already made it pre in advance. There we go. Now I'm just gonna set that off to the side and talk to you guys in the chat. Finish drinking my wine. And there we have it. The meatloaf that's in the oven already. We got our vegetable fruit salad there in the background. Right back there. Use the special select raspberry vinaigrette, and you can use your own. You saw how you put all the ingredients: black caps, blueberries, strawberries, tomatoes, raspberries for the fruit, and then we had broccoli crowns, which we had all broken up, cucumbers, mushrooms, sweet medallion onions, and some extra sharp cheddar cheese, all chopped up, and black olives. Mrs. T-Bird wanted to make sure I said black olives. She loves the black olives. I like them on pizza. And they are pretty tasty. I ain't gonna lie. Well, there we go, everybody. Let's see. I'm still curious on what Raz Baba was talking about, assuming on account the maple leaf on the box. I'm not sure what he was talking about. I probably have to go back in the chat. I wasn't really watching chat. I was trying to pay attention to what I was doing on the stove, cooking and everything. Looks like chocolate pudding. Chocolate pudding. And no, just regular brown gravy with onions, mushrooms that were sauteed, and put it all together. And then with a little bit of that Kerrygold pure Irish butter. Can you come over now? Sure. We got plenty of plates. If you live close to me, you'd be more than welcome to stop by. It'd be awesome. It's going to be an awesome dinner. That's what we're going to have: scalloped potatoes with some that gravy, sauteed gravy over the top of it. We're going to have some of that with the raspberry vinaigrette, and we're going to have the meatloaf, which is in the oven cooking. Let me see here. Let you guys take a quick peek at that, which if you, let's see, need my pot holder. I'll pull this out. Like I said, this is going to take about an hour and a half to cook. There's the meatloaf I made for you guys, dressed up with ketchup all over the top with a little bit of parsley flakes just to give it a little color. That's going to take an hour and a half. So, whatever time it is right now, you know what me and Mrs. T-Bird are going to be doing in an hour and a half. We're going to be eating. Thank you, each and every one of you for stopping by. Thank you, Happy Tiger. Thank you, Stucker Man Rabbit Hole. Cheers, everyone. Here's to you. Thank you, Raka. Yeah, it is good. I mean, Mrs. T-Bird, that's one thing we do really love to do, and we really do love to cook. And we're both very good at cooking. We got our own unique recipes. Salute. Cheers, Deneen. Thank you so much. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Happy Tiger. Cheers to you as well. Like I said, I'm not a big drinker. I do enjoy semi-sweet wine, and usually, we drink it when we're cooking and when we're eating. And this is from Swedish Hill, and I really like to use that in a lot of my roast. Instead of using water, I sometimes use different types of teas instead of using water to add into my roast when I cook, whether it be a pork roast or a beef roast. But a lot of times we'll also use the semi-sweet red wine. Bottoms up. Well, like I said, I'm not a big drinker, so these are just a little glass. It ain't very big. I know the other day when I did a video of when I was doing another live there, I think I downed 2 or 3 of them. That's not very much at all. That's about the most I usually drink within a week or two. I've been getting a little more into the wine lately. It really goes good with a very good meal. Yeah,
If you ever get in your area, yeah, you take me to the best winery. Awesome. Yeah, we have a few.
We have a few wineries around here. They're small vineyards, I think, and they make their own wines.
They have pear wines. Pear wines are good.
Pear wines, yeah, they have pear wines, and there's one that's not too far away from me where they grow their own Concord grapes, and they make their own wine, and they have a tasting thing there. You can go there and you can check them out, and you can taste their product and whatnot. I haven't been there. I've actually attempted one time to make my own wine because I have a huge vine that's in the front of my house that I planted several years ago, and they're Concord grapes, and they're pretty good. I sometimes make jam out of them, and I didn't like them in the very front of the house because they're starting to go underneath the foundation. The vine is huge. The base of the vine is 2 to 3 times the size of this T-Bird coffee cup. It is huge. Um, I've got a couple of them that are like that, and eventually I'm gonna have to cut it down. Which about 3 4 years ago I transplanted some of the vines out back so I could keep the vine going because I initially want to cut it down and get it and stop it from growing underneath the foundation so it doesn't create any problems as it's growing. Because like I said, it's bigger than you normally would expect. Let's see.
Oh, you're near Tule. Yeah, over in Southwest Michigan. Yeah, he's probably a ways away, but Southwest Michigan. I think Tule's more towards north central Michigan. Hey, Becky, how you doing? Yeah, the salad it is great. It's like I said, it's vegetable fruit salad. You use some raspberry vinaigrette on it. I got my alert dogs. Yeah, they see something outside. Animals, they don't miss a trick. I guess it's like your distance from T-Bird. Yeah, stacked up. Yeah, you were down when I was talking to your wife. I was talking about Brooklyn because I did some field service down there. And I don't know exactly where you're at. I was only guessing Brooklyn down there. Maybe you're from Long Island area. But I did some field service over in Queens, the Bronx, a lot of it in Brooklyn. And I went over for training over in Long Island. When I went down there, because I had every year when I go down there, I have to be certified to go down inside the tunnels where they have the third rail and everything. And the training is only good for 1 year. You have to be recertified every time you go down there. I can't foresee any future trips going down there because presently we're not working on any New York City vehicles, trains. Yeah, you know I love playing with trains. Everybody knows. I think everybody knows. Yeah, I don't build these particular types of trains, but I build real trains, passenger trains. So if anywhere where you might be, and I can't name any off in particular, I can't name the company that I work for, but they can't stop me from saying I'm a crane operator, and I will work on and build trains. I move trains all day long. OC Stacker is always teasing me that he doesn't know anybody that gets to play with trains all day and get paid for it. If you have any passenger trains and you're wherever you're may be, whether you're in Michigan or whether you're in California or whether you're in Florida or if you're in New York City, there's chances that I've been in almost every single one of them, working on them or moving them or building them. I guess I can guess. I bet you probably can, but don't. Yeah. Well, that'll be fine because the company that did build that particular contract down there, it was bought out by another company, and now it's got a whole new name. There's one company I can name, but I don't want it. I'm not going to, because I had to sign this disclosure agreement that I was not to take pictures or show pictures or anything to do with the company's name on social media. But like I said, they can't stop me from saying that I work for a company that makes trains, builds trains, or as long as I don't mention the contractor, the name, or the company name, they can't stop me from saying that I build trains and work on trains and I'm a crane operator and I move trains.
whether it be with a trackmobile. If you don't know what a trackmobile is, it's a particular type of vehicle that moves trains on the tracks that are not yet in commission. Have I ever drove a real train? Yes, I have. I used to work for CP Rails, which I no longer work for CP Rails, Canadian Pacific Railway, which was originally Delaware and Hudson Railroad. They were bought now by CP Rails, and now they merged with Kansas. What was it? Kansas City Railway. Kansas City Railway and CP Rails merged together. But I actually used to work for them for about 3 years prior to me working at where I work now, and I've been there for about 25 years since 1999. I started there in 99, left there to work for CP Rails, worked for 3 years. I went to go. They abolished the work at that particular area that I was at. I could have followed the work, but I didn't. I ended up taking a severance package, and I went back to where I'm at now. But I hope everybody's having a fantastic Sunday. I thank each and every one of you for stopping by. Looks like I got 18 likes. Still 8 people in here. Awesome. I'm gonna do the. I got the spinach in there. Like I was saying on one of my other live streams, I do have an awesome spinach. I don't know what you would call it. You saute the spinach up with mushrooms, and there's heavy cream and a few other things you put in there. And while I was down in Brooklyn, staying down there doing field service for the company that I work for, I used to go to a restaurant every single night, and I got to know the people that work there and the owner, and I learned a few key ingredient recipes on certain cuisine things they would cook, and one of them is a spinach dressing that you cook up in a pan. Like I said, with spinach, you use a little bit of grated cheese, you use a little bit of heavy cream, mushrooms, onions. Yeah, and that is awesome. I'm going to do that for you guys one of these days here shortly. I've got some spinach in there right now. If I would have thought about it, I could have probably did it, but I had a lot going on my plate right here already. Just bring you guys this. Yes, it is. It is very good. I know there's only one couple companies and posting names in the subways. Yeah, you know what they are. You must. Well, like I said, you could almost live anywhere. You don't need to say. Like I said, I've been for training inside of Long Island. I've had training in the Bronx, in Brooklyn, in Queens, and I went to every railroad station down there at a point in time between. I'm trying to think when was it? 2019 and 2020, and yeah, 2019 and 2020. I spent a lot of time down there, 2-3 weeks at a time, servicing the contracts that we had built for mods and other things that need to be repairs and things that didn't hold up. And I had to go down there and I had to work on a lot of the trains and all their different sites where they are at. And I think altogether, I probably spent about 2 months of those last 2019 and 2020, about 2 months in total, maybe 3 months down there. But it was awesome when I got done work. We went to Square Garden. We went all over the place down there, and it was a good time down there. I really liked it. I don't think I'd ever want to live down there. It's not my lifestyle, but to go down there and spend a little time, it's pretty awesome as long as you stay out of the bad parts of the areas, and you pretty much know where the bad parts are. Take some good places. Awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of good places down there to eat. I know I know that already. They've got some awesome restaurants down there, especially around Brooklyn. If you know where to go, I know Brooklyn's got some really good places. Plus all the bullion places. Yeah, that's the one thing I didn't do when I was down there. I didn't go to any places that had anything to do with coins or bullion. But I never even thought of it, to be honest with you. Don't ask me why. I just didn't. But that would have been nice. I gotta keep walking closer to my laptop because I'm back behind. I'm back behind the camera here, and I got my laptop over there. It's still a little too far to see what's going on. But it's better than looking at my phone. Let me see here. I'm just gonna back this up because afterwards, if I don't, I won't be able to check out. I want to make sure I caught everything in the chat. Peter Luger's is in Brooklyn. Yeah, they had some. Let me think now. Was it in Brooklyn? Yes, it was somewhere around Brooklyn, somewhere between Queens and Brooklyn. But I think in every bureau they have. It was Indian food. The people that at the station that I went to, the supervisors and the leads that were there, that brought us out to eat, brought us. Hey, B Taylor, how's it going? Thanks for stopping in, brother. I just got done cooking some meatloaf, which is in the oven, already done cooking. Ooh, he's gonna be awesome. Some vegetable fruit salad. I sauteed some onions and some mushrooms and putting a brown gravy out there in the back to go over our scalloped potatoes. But some some real Indian food. There's several Indian restaurants that are down there in the city, Stack That Gold, and they got some awesome food. Really awesome. I've been to like 2 or 3 different places down in Brooklyn that they brought me to, and they bought me dinner down there, and they have some dishes like you wouldn't believe. It is so good, and I love to eat. I think you guys all know that by now. And I eat rich. I eat rich. I don't hold nothing back when it comes to eating, especially when it comes to a good steak. Michael Stacken knows that. Yeah, well, here you go, Michael. Michael said he had one up on me. He's got a ways to go, but here you go. This back at you, Michael. Back at you, brother. See what Michael Sacken can come up with next. Him and Nancy, they did a fantastic breakfast with some bacon and some scrambled eggs, and they made some homemade biscuits. They did awesome, didn't they? Did you see that? Were you there, Deneen? He did awesome, didn't he? I couldn't believe he did that. Yeah, you love some Indian food. Yeah, it is good. And it comes to cooking in Indian food, I can't. I don't. I probably could, but I don't know any dishes for Indian food. I just cook whatever I want to cook and whatever I want to eat. I don't know whether it's American or Indian or what it is, but as long as it tastes good, that's all that matters to me. When I cook, Mrs. T-Bird has recipes. I don't. It's like when I cook my stuffing for Thanksgiving dinner, when I stuff the bird, I just know what I need to put in it. I know the ingredients, the amount of measurements. It doesn't matter. It's like when I'm making the stuffing, you cook it, you make it, you're mixing it, you're putting all your ingredients in, you make it to taste. And as you're going, you give it a little taste test. And I just know what I need to put in it. You know, it's a little of this, it's a little of that, it's some of this, it's some of that. You know, you just got to throw it in there. But you know, there are certain things that you got to have certain amounts. You don't want to overdo it to overpower it. Hey, Emperor Wayne, how's it going, brother? Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, I just got done cooking. I've got everything in the oven. I'm just following up a little bit with the chat. I think I'm gonna pour myself a little. I probably not talking loud enough. I walked back to the refrigerator. It's all Mrs. T-Bird's fault. She went and got me a glass of wine. I need to have another little glass. That red wine, semi-sweet red wine, is just too good. And I can't wait until dinner time. So, yeah, it does. Yeah, that's very, very good. Like I said, I already went over it, but we have broccoli crowns all cut up. And this is a vegetable fruit salad. Uh, and tomatoes, blueberries, blackberries, black caps, raspberries. There's cucumbers, tomatoes, mushrooms. There's onions, sweet medallion onions. We got some sharp cheddar cheese. Mix all up, put it all together, and you get yourself whatever you want. But I recommend the raspberry vinaigrette. That's awesome stuff. That's really good, but you can use whatever type of oil dressing that you want. And you just put that into a little dish and got to shake that up first and sprinkle that on there. And boy, that is good. That's really good. I love that stuff. It's awesome. And we have the meatloaf. If you go back and check out the meatloaf, I could probably do it on a later day, but if you really want the recipe for that my meatloaf, I can do it up after I post this live. I can in the description if you want to go back there and try it out and give it a run. I can roughly type out inside the description roughly about what I put into it for ingredients. If you ever want to give it a try, it's really good. It's awesome. The meatloaf when it's done and it's cooked, it does not come out like a hunk of hamburger, like you're biting into a hamburger. It falls apart. You literally got to use you almost got to use a spoon to take it out. Not this particular type of spoon, but you almost got to use a spoon to take it out, because if you cut it up into squares, which you can do, it'll actually fall apart on you. You just scoop it up there and place it in your dish, and it is awesome. Very awesome. Yeah, the salad is good, B. Taylor. Let me see here. 9 people, 21 likes. Woo! Smash that like button. Alrighty, guys. I guess unless anybody has any questions or has anything they want to comment or say, I'll probably let you all go. Like the meatloaf. That out of how was it? Great album. Yeah, it was. Meatloaf. Oh, it's been a day. It's been a day or two since I've heard that. Wow, I'm gonna have to go look that song up from Meatloaf. Yeah, you're showing your age, Emperor Wayne. Yeah, I am too. Well, hit 59 here on the 22nd of May. It's not that far away. I've only got about one year left of my 50s. Yeah, I'm getting up there, I guess. I don't feel like it. I don't look like it, but I don't feel like it either. That's a good thing. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much, everyone, for stopping. Thank you, Deneen. Thank you, Raka. Thank you, B. Taylor. Thank you, Stack That Gold. Thanks for stopping in. Next time, I'll bring some more silver out here and I'll change some silver out in the kitchen stove top for you. I should have brought some out. Scott Ferguson. Hey, there's awesome. Boy, he is the man. He watches, I think, every single one of my shorts and videos and lives all the time. He comments on each and every one. Thank you. Thank you so much, Scott Ferguson. You are so awesome. You really rock. You really rock, brother. I appreciate you big time. Awesome. Like I said, I didn't say it. But if you ever, I've been doing this now for probably 3 or 4 months now, but I don't have all my videos all allocated yet, but I do have a playlist. If you go to my main channel, I try to allocate all my shorts on shorts. And if they have anything to do with pouring or silver or gold, I put it with silver and copper pours, shorts, the videos for videos, lives for lives. And I have several different playlists. If you ever want to be able to go to something to see my lives or to see my shorts or my videos, or whether you want to just see the silver copper pours, you can always go to that particular playlist and you can scroll down to there and it's kind of itemized for you. I have one for cooking. I have one also for mail calls. I try to segregate and I try to stay on top of it. All my new content I've been putting on, I try to categorize it accordingly. Slowly but surely, because I think I have about 600 different videos. I'm going to slowly start back, which I have from the beginning, back to when I first started last year, around June sometime, I think. And I'm slowly categorizing everything along into that playlist accordingly. If it's got to do with coins, or if it's got to do with silver and copper, or if it's got to do with shorts or videos or live streams. But go check that out. I'm getting very close to being monetized, baby monetization. Yeah, try to say that 5 times fast. Monumentation, whatever. I can't say it. I have troubles with certain words. But go check it out. I appreciate each and every one of you again. Thank you, Raka. Yeah, bird's the word. Alrighty, Stackerman Rabbit Hole, Scott Ferguson. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you, each and every one of you stopping by. Emperor Wong, thank you so much. Monumentation. Yeah, I still can't say it. It's a tough word for me to say.
Mrs. Alaskan Assassin. Awesome. Yeah. Said hi. Awesome. Thank you. Vix Blades, you're back. Thanks for stopping in, Vix. I'm just getting ready to end this and saying goodbye to everybody. I thank each and every one of you that have stopped by. Alrighty, Bird's Word, T-Bird out. You all have a best rest of your Sunday, and we'll see you out there in the streams. Goodbye, everyone. T-Bird out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Make sure to stay tuned. May 10th, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, celebration time. T-Bird out.